Hello, my name is Mr. Polk and welcome to my kitchen. Today I'd like to take a look at a classic rice dish, rice pilaf. And for rice pilaf, what's unique about it is we're going to saute our mirepoix ingredients, our aromatics, and then we're going to put the rice in and let it coat in a little bit of butter, which is going to help keep it from sticking. And then we're going to add some chicken stock. And then what's unique about the rice pilaf is rather than it simmering until it absorbs all the liquid, we're just going to kind of put it in the oven so we can set it and forget it. So let's take a look at how we're going to start making our rice pilaf. Okay, so we started by heating up about an ounce of clarified butter. And then what we're going to do is put in our veggies. So we have small dice on the carrot, small dice on the onion, and small dice on the celery. And what we want to do here, I'll turn our heat down just a little bit there. And we're just trying to get this really just kind of sweat out. I'm not really looking for it to get that sauteed color. We just want it to sweat out, meaning we want these guys to soften, all right, and add the flavor to the rice. Okay, so we're going to just start stirring them around in there, and we're going to let those cook until they start to soften. So now that you can see we've got our vegetables softened, and again, I like to call that sweating in that they're softened, but they really don't have any browning to them. And now we're going to add the rice. Just put this is just long grain white rice. We put it in all at once, and the idea here is we're not trying to cook it or anything. We're just trying to get it coated in the remaining butter. And that's why we started with what looked like a lot of butter just to saute. And the idea is that's going to coat the rice, and that's going to help keep it from sticking. Now we're going to add 2 cups of chicken stock, and that was about a cup of rice. 2 cups of chicken stock, so that's a ratio of 2 cups of liquid, 2 to 1, 2 cups of liquid to 1 cup of the rice. And then we're going to give this a stir, and then we're going to bring this to a boil. And as soon as this comes to a boil, we're going to get this into the oven. And at this point you can put in just a sprig or so of parsley and a bay leaf, and that's going to give you your flavor. You can also add a little bit of pepper at this time if you like. You'll be able to add some when the product's done, but you can put a little bit into the stock. And then just a little bit of salt. And then that's going to go into the oven. So once this comes to a boil, so this needs to come to a boil. As soon as the liquid comes to a boil, you're going to put a lid on it, and it's going to go right into the oven. When it goes into the oven, please be very careful. The entire pot is getting hot. You're so used to being able to grab the handles, but the handles are going to be hot. And what some people forget is the top of your lid is going to be hot. So make sure you use hot pads when you take it out. But let's go ahead and we'll let this boil, and then we'll get this guy right into the oven. So now let's take a look at our rice. So we open up the oven. Remember, the pot has been in the oven for maybe 12, probably closer to 14 minutes. And we don't want to touch it because it's been 350, so make sure you use a hot pad. And when you take off the lid, it's always important to use a hot pad as well. And what you're looking for is you'll have to taste that the rice is tender. And we're looking for that most of the liquid has come off. You'll have just a touch, like a glistening of liquid left on it. Okay, because the idea is that as it cooks in here, the rice absorbs the liquid. So this looks really great. And we just, I can tell by stirring it that the rice is pretty much tender. We just take a little taste to make sure. The rice should have a tender taste. It shouldn't feel mushy, okay? But at the same time, the rice shouldn't have like a crunch or a bite to it. So at this point, we can go ahead and pull this from the oven and take a look at how we're going to plate it. So here you can see the rice pilaf after it's come out of the oven. The rice is tender, and like I said, it's not dried out, but it's not, sopping wet. It just has that nice little bit of glistening, a little bit of moisture level to it. And you could put this in a bowl and serve it. You could put it in a ring mold. We're going to try just a classic presentation here. I'm going to go ahead and take it and press it into a bowl. You can see it looks really nice. You got, that little bit of the carrots, the celery, all of that comes out. You can add a little bit extra salt and pepper if you want. You can even add some garlic if you wish. And that's where you get your rice pilaf. And then what we're going to do is just slide this out of the way and just take your bowl and put it onto your plate. Turn it upside down. And then if all goes well, it unmolds really nice like that. And you can see where you could have a really nice mold of the rice. You could top that with a little bit of fresh parsley, and that will look great as a side. If you did that onto the dish, like on your plate, you could use a smaller one or find different shapes. So there you go. It's a different way to make rice, where you saute everything, add the rice, let it get covered in the butter, get your stock in there, a little bit of seasoning, and then what I love about it is it goes in the oven and you just set it and forget it, and when it comes out, it's beautiful. You didn't burn any pans, you didn't burn any rice, you didn't scorch anything. You did a really nice job. So thank you for cooking with me today, and I can't wait to cook with you real soon right here in Mr. Polk's kitchen.